The Prime Minister is among 200 dignitaries attending a Queensland Police memorial service for two officers brutally killed on a rural property. Constables Rachel McCrow and Matthew Arnold were shot dead on a routine call-out last Monday. Clare Todhunter is live outside Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Clare, talk us through today's proceedings.
Well, as you mentioned, Tom, we do have many dignitaries attending today, and that will include the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, the Governor-General as well, the Premier, Anastasia Palaszczuk, and both the state and federal opposition leaders. They'll start taking part in wreath laying in about half an hour's time before the service itself gets underway at 10 a.m. local time or 11 a.m. daylight time. And we will see Rachel McCrow, a 29-year-old constable, and 26-year-old constable Matthew Arnold honoured posthumously with bravery awards at that ceremony. They will also be honoured with a procession which will involve police motorcycles, police helicopters flying over, and the dog squad and mounted units will take place in that as well. The police say a lot of planning has gone into this huge event in a short amount of time.
It's been very hard. A lot of people have tired, as you can imagine. It's been a very emotional experience. But what I can say is that it's instances like these when the police family pull together to support each other and support the families of Matthew and Rachel. It really is just impressive.
This event does have a capacity for 8,000 people, and it is expected the number of people here today will get quite close to that. We'll have huge processions of police officers coming from interstate police as well as other emergency service people from right across the state too. So we've heard that people are really feeling this right across the emergency service sector.
It's pretty tough for all police officers across the state, and speaking with police this morning who've travelled far and wide, they know it's going to be an emotional time, but it's really important to acknowledge Matthew and Rachel, because they know that they paid the ultimate sacrifice, but that could have been any one of us across the state of Queensland or across Australia who has paid that price, because we go to incidents day in, day out. Our job is to protect the community, and at times we never know what we're going to be confronted with.
And Clare, a private funeral will be held for the third victim killed in last week's ambush.
Yes, Tom, 58-year-old Alan Dare was a neighbour of that property where all this happened last Monday, and he was just trying to help when he came down to that property, seeing fires, thinking that someone might be in trouble in a house fire, but yes, was unfortunately caught up in that violence and shot dead. But he will have a private funeral service taking place in Ipswich on Friday afternoon. That will involve a cortege of 50 vintage cars, one of his favourite things, and it is expected many members of the community will line up as well along the streets to honour Alan as he is farewelled. And the mayor of that town of the Western Downs region says the community has been very supportive.
I've actually spoken to the widow of Alan Dare just yesterday, and a very, very strong lady, a lady that's been amazed at the care that our community has offered, the respect that has been shown for her husband. It was just a local residents going over to care, to see what was happening in a neighbouring property, and to be gunned down in cold blood is something horrific that we don't expect to see in our region. We don't expect to see it in Queensland. We don't expect to see it in our nation.
Private funerals will also be held for Rachel McCrow and Matthew Arnold after today's QPS funeral.